all you want to do is sleep. You're stressed, you're anxious, you've got so much work to do, you're overwhelmed, and you know that if only you could get a good night's sleep, everything would be better. But no, you've got insomnia, making things even worse. So what do? Why is this happening? At the root of this is nervous system dysregulation. Your nervous system is in survival mode. And in survival mode, your body's not gonna wanna sleep. Let me explain this. Maybe you've heard this before with a tiger chasing you, but just stick with me here. If a tiger or any kind of predator would be attacking you or chasing you, you'd want to fight or run away from it. Fight or flight, fight or flee. And when you're running away or fighting for your life, your nervous system is not going to be wanting to sleep. You'll get eaten, you'll get hurt, right? So sleep, in this case, is not available to you. Rest, recover, restore, digest, communicate, tend and befriend, be social, all of that stuff is not available when we're in a threat response, and that makes sense. Now we're going to change eras here and go to the dinosaur era. Imagine we were alive when dinosaurs existed. And a dinosaur has chased you into a cave and there's nowhere else to go. And the dinosaur is waiting outside for you to come out. And you know that the dinosaur can outweight you. And at some point, you have to go out so that you can, for example, eat and drink or whatever. And that will put you in an anxious state. Maybe you'll start freezing, but you're not going to be able to sleep with a dinosaur outside. Even though you're not moving, you can't get anywhere, your system might be in a bit of a freeze response. There's anxiety. The activated energy of the sympathetic fight and flight response is still active in our system. It hasn't had chance to deactivate or go anywhere. So sleep is not available to us. We don't feel safe enough to be able to sleep. Our nervous system doesn't feel safe enough to switch into sleep mode. And modern long-term stress has the same effect on our body like we're being chased into a cave by a dinosaur and the dinosaur waiting outside. That creates anxiety. The sympathetic fight-flight energy doesn't have a chance to discharge. And we're just kind of in this hyper-vigilant threat response state this whole time. And over a long period of time, this will affect our sleep and even create insomnia. And for some of us, this period won't last very long. They'll come out of the stress. Their nervous system will start feeling safe and start regulating again, and sleep will restore. And for others, like me, while I had chronic fatigue, it took years to recover from insomnia. Years. So what do you do about it? Number one, don't fear it, don't shame, don't judge it. That just adds to the stress that's already in your system. I know this is really hard, but I was practicing mindfulness already at the time, so I recognized that this is a state that I just had to surrender into. So I would lie there and remind myself, just because I'm tired, it doesn't mean that I'm having a bad life, that things will go wrong, that I'm going to have a bad day the next day. It just means I'm tired and I need to take care of myself in a different way than if I had more energy, let's say. So that's the mindful way of talking to myself instead of being like, oh God, tossing and turning, like, I can't sleep. And then the head's spinning and you're having all of these future-based loop of like, oh my God, then I can't do this and this tomorrow. I'll be exhausted. My symptoms will flare up and etc., etc. We know how that looks like. Number 2 is have regular practices that help your system go into more this calm parasympathetic state. Not shut down, but this calmer, to get out of your head. They're beautiful breathing practices like box breathing or counting the breath. Counting is nice because the brain can't do 2 things at the same time. So while it's focusing on the counting, it won't be focusing on the things that create anxiety. For me personally, it was yoga nidra. I loved doing yoga nidras. And they won't necessarily immediately work, but over a long period of time, you're training your body to relax, to shift nervous system states when you do these practices. So I would have 2 yoga nidras that I would play on repeat. I almost know them by heart, but it's perfect because I know the voice, I know what's coming next. And usually, these days, not always, but usually when I start hearing that voice and I start hearing the same instructions, my body cues into, oh, it's resting time now. And the 3rd one is to reduce your stresses in your life, which could be maybe things like changing jobs, changing your current situation. And it might also mean doing deeper work, like looking at your traumas, attachment wounds, birth trauma. Maybe you have complex trauma, PTSD, all of that stuff that hasn't been looked at for decades even. The stressors of living with that pile up, and it eventually gets to a point where our system cannot regulate itself or cannot contain that part anymore, and things like sleep start to suffer. If that's the case for you, then get professional support. It's not a waste of money and time. I promise you it might feel hard to do, but you will feel better after. It's harder to live with insomnia and these chronic conditions and our symptoms than it is to just for the short term, just get through it, face the pain emotional pain that's stuck inside of us, face the trauma, and then feel so much better. And somatic experiencing is a beautiful tool or modality that can help with that. I'm in training right now. I'm finishing the training end of this year, so I'll be a somatic experiencing practitioner then. But until then, if you're interested in working with me or any of this resonates or you have questions about it, then please leave a comment and like this video. That would really help, and I'm happy to start a conversation with you. Thank you.